I'm sure you've heard the news, but not like this. Get ready to dive into what's happening in the world of MMA. We're your go-to spot for fight night predictions, fighter interviews, and all the behind-the-scenes action you crave. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Give it up for your host, the one and only Panda.
What's up, everybody? Daddy from PandaMMANews. I don't have a soundboard to make fancy sounds, but what I do have is a little cuck to my right.
Fuck you, you know. Hey, you know what it is. It's Big Poppy, you little fucking spongy cuck.
It's Big Cucky, dude. You know who it is. He's got the biggest chair in the corner. Ian Gary has to stand here.
You're the gerbil they put in the tube to eat ass, bitch.
No, incorrect, dude. Just settle down, Slim Shady. You're Slim Cucky, dude. You got a nice thin chair. It's made for skinny people. That's all there is to it, my friend.
They call you Chode Cucky, brother.
No, you watch your fucking mouth, dude. You watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, dude. Anyways,
I'll go down there and spank you.
Dude, the only thing you're gonna spank is your fucking monkey. And you need to wait till after this podcast, please, because eventually we want to monetize. So you spanking your monkey is gonna get us nowhere. But anyways, we have a pretty special episode for you guys today. We have a kind of another Jacksonwink episode. We have Lajuan Davis, the Alchemist. He is one of the coaches at Jacksonwink. He trains with the what was that program called? It was like IncredAble or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it's like IncredAble where he trains with kids with
It
disabilities.
is incredible what he's doing.
Yeah, for sure. But the base of the program is he trains kids with disabilities, right?
Yeah.
So, and then also on top of that, we have a interview with the Mean Machine, Steve Garcia. That was way better than what I did in the video. Damn it. But yeah, he's fighting this weekend on Saturday. Who? You know what? I should have had this card pulled up on my phone. That way I can actually tell you who exactly he's fighting. I'll tell you right now in about fucking minus 2.3 seconds. Here we have it. Steve Garcia versus Kyle Nelson, a.k.a. the smelliest crotch of them all. And he's there to sniff him up, dude. He's there to sniff him up like one of those girls you pay money in dark street corners.
Or like the wall from Willy Wonka, you scratch and sniff.
Well, he's gonna be trying to do that to our boys' crotch, but our boy's gonna he's gonna starch him, so that's all that matters.
Yep, he's gonna be looking stiff, boy,
and not in the way that Kyle Nelson wishes he was. But yeah, so those are our two interviews today. If you guys are watching this on Thursday or even Friday, you would know that we had a episode come out last night, which we actually have another guest tonight too. I forgot. Well, actually, I guess a really good question. Renato Valente, he is also on this episode tonight, guys. He is fighting at LFA. I believe it's 192. He's fighting against Randall Wallace, a.k.a. Buddy Wallace. He is from our hometown of the Oakdale Buds. But we have Renato. But let's get into this Contender Series card before we get into these interviews, and then we'll get into the current events. So, first fight of the night on Contender Series was Young versus Salkild. Round one was very back and forth. No grappling, attempts really made. Salkild was shooting leg kicks, but he was missing a lot. He started to tag him a little bit towards the end of the round. Second round, Young landed a takedown, which was followed up by a takedown for Salkild. He landed a takedown. He stood back up, and he was like, "Nope, my turn now." Took him back down. Salkild actually had more control time, and he was able to gain his back twice throughout the second round. Towards the end of the round, though, Young had Salkild in a lot of trouble against the cage. He was kind of opening up a little bit. It was looking really bad for Salkild. But opening of round three, Salkild came out and was just piecing Young up. I'm talking like brutal piecing. He started fucking Young up very badly. He took he took down Young two more times throughout the third round and defended a takedown of his own. It ended with Sakil attempting a submission, trying to get that finish, trying to get that UFC contract. The fight was so good that Dana White actually, first time I've ever seen the Contender Series, he went out of his seat to go into the cage to congratulate two fighters. Winner was Sakil.
So basically what you're saying is he killed that shit.
He killed that shit. Next fight is probably the best finish in Contender Series history. We have Dubin versus Clark. Clark was a Canadian female fighter. Here's the thing, the odds was so heavily favored. I think Dubin was like minus 1350, some crazy fucking odds, and I don't know why. Because when the fight started, I saw fucking Clark, dude. She came at Sakil, chin up in the air, doing this shit, just marching towards her. Sakil started timing that shit.
Doing that Donald Trump dance?
Yeah, exactly. Doing the Donald Trump dance or not Sakil, but doing the Donald Trump dance towards Dubin. And Dubin was able to time that shit in one of the strikes. Hit her with a clean left hook, circled out to the right. Right when she hit her with the left hook, though, launched her forward, wobbled the bitch. She fell to a knee. She got back up. She tried coming at her again, dude. And Dubin pulled one of the slickest moves I've seen. It's a very simple move, but not something you see landed in such high-level martial arts. She went to fake a takedown, dude. Literally touched this chick's knee. And as soon as she did, the chick's hands went like this, and she came over the top and went, rack! Fucking overhand right, floored the bitch, put her to sleep. Literally put her fucking Mimi. So much to the point, Dana White stood up out of his seat. He jumped out. I've never seen him jump up so fast. He jumped out of his seat and was so excited. He was telling Dubin how he loves her, how she's so amazing. He told her, he's like, you don't have to wait till after the show. You have a contract now. You are in the UFC. She didn't understand a damn word that he was saying because she only speaks Spanish.
He's like, mi amor.
But it's funny because he took her to his office and gave her a fight bonus. Not in that way. I like how the camera zoomed in right there. That was really weird. But not in that way. But he took her to the office, gave her a bonus, and when she came out, what's her name? Laura Senko. She asked her, she's like, hey, what Dana White say to you? She's like, I don't know. He was happy though, so that must mean I won.
He said, open your mouth.
No. Watch your mouth, dude. That's gonna be a guest on our show. I already have it confirmed.
I'm just kidding.
That is the sight that we saw after she laid this bitch out.
Wow.
You know what? As long as I don't play sound, I should be able to show this clip. Fucking maybe. And she almost wanted to re-land. Look at Dana, dude. He's so excited.
Dude, she almost did one of those Bisbings. Fucking
yeah, the H-bomb. Yeah, almost landed an H-bomb on the bitch, but she got pushed off by the ref last second. So congratulations, huge congratulations. Well, congratulations to Sakil too, but congratulations to Dubin especially because I'm already in touch with the manager. This is already being worked out. I'm in the process of finding a translator. We are having her on the show, but that's neither here nor there. But the next fight, though, we have Bashi versus Ramos. Round one, Bashi was able to get Ramos down a few times, but couldn't keep Ramos down at least enough to land any solid ground and pound. Ramos got up, and when he did, he ate a right hand and went back down, giving his back up again. Round two was a round two submission attempt. Bashi got Ramos back once. He got his back once again, but this time that RNC went under the chin. And actually, I'm thinking of a different fight because that was the end of the fight. Yeah, he got the RNC. So I actually have this note here. I have this note here because I have a note in my notes because they aired a commercial.
The note of all notes.
Listen to this. Now, we have a relation with Jacksonwink, so I'm not going to say anything negative at all. But I am going to touch on the fact that, every time Dana White does a press conference, he's glazing our boy from Jacksonwink, John Jones. right after the submission, they aired a commercial for John Jones, and it started listing off all of the accomplishments of John Jones. You know, fucking 2-division champion, all the wins he's had, undefeated, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking they're airing a commercial for Stipe versus Jones, right? It just ends with the accomplishments of Jones. Like that's where it ended. And they asked Dana about it after, and Dana's like, yeah, best to ever fucking do it. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Glaze those knuckles, baby.
But I just thought that was kind of funny. But the next one,
no, that's hilarious. Is because he's been getting all the heat for it.
So they made
those knuckles.
they made $1,000 upon $1,000 commercial, fucking just really glazing them.
he basically trolled the trolls right there.
Yeah. We won't get too far into that though, because we have a relationship with Jacksonwink, and you know, I'd like to get John Jones on here if possible. So yeah, I mean, props to him. I like the commercial. But on to the next fight. We have Curry versus Santos. Round 1, Curry came out very strong. He tried to shoot a takedown, got stuffed. Then Santos started taking the steam and realizing Curry can't fight backwards. So he started just piecing him up, just started chasing him, making him go backwards, getting him in boxing range, really piecing him up. Curry came from Cage Warriors, you know, Conor McGregor, Ian Gary. That's where they all came from. He had legs like a fucking mule, dude. His legs were the size of Santos's head. It was insane. He was jacked, but he had no fucking boxing. It was purely kickboxing. So within the boxing range, he was fucking virtually useless. Fun stat: throughout the fight, Curry shot 12 takedowns. They scored only 2 landing. I scored only 1. The one they scored that I don't score, it was actually a hip toss, but Santos was up in like 1.5 seconds. So I don't score that as a takedown because he's up so quick. So I count that as 12 takedowns shot and one landed. So almost 100% takedown defense. But that's towards the end of the fight. But round 2 was a fantastic round for Santos. You know, once again, was stuffing takedown after takedown, kept Curry in clinching range, and was really initiating that dirty boxing. He ended the round with a flying knee, and as soon as he landed the flying knee, it went directly to a double leg. Shot the double leg, got his own takedown, and the round ended with Curry on his ass. That's when Curry started to get tired. Round 3, you know, Santos really just continued the onslaught, and he just pieced up Curry in the whole 3rd round. I mean, it was very clear by the end of this fight who won. And, you know, me watching, I'm like, dude, watch him fucking give this to Curry. Like, just watch the backward ass judging. Just, you know, go in favor of Curry. And luckily that wasn't the case. Santos won. That moves us into our next fight, our last fight of the evening, which is I can't say his first name. He's Korean. He's got a crazy first name that I can't pronounce, so we'll just go by last names. We have Ko, which is the Korean fella, versus Cavalcante, which is a Brazilian fella, but he had the full fucking fro, dude. He looked like fucking
Gilbert Burns.
No, he beyond Gilbert Burns, dude. He looked like the legit Brazilian Bruce Lee in there with that fucking big ass fro. But you know, round 1, I noticed very quickly that Ko was a lot faster. Well, real quick, fun fact: there was an 8.5-inch reach difference between the two.
Holy shit!
Ko was the shorter reach, but Ko, being Korean, had that slick fucking boxing and kickboxing. So he literally just sat there and he was baiting Cavalcante into throwing these big strikes to where he could fade out of the way and counter, dude. And he was countering nicely. He like there was so many shots where it was like any other person could be asleep. So props to Cavalcante on that chin. But that brings us to round 2, where Ko got dick kicked mid-fight. When the fight went back, and then when the fight started back, he hurt Cavalcante with a body shot. Cal started swinging very wildly. It was actually crazy because he hurt him with a body shot, and he like clinched down Cavalcante. He clinched down, went, oh, and as soon as Ko got close, started swinging haymakers. None of them really landed. but they ended up getting back to a clinch. Kava learned real quickly that the Koreans have good judo because they went to the clinch and Ko fucking judo flipped him right on his back, and he ended up getting back up, so the round ended on their feet. Round 3 though, Ko landed a takedown of his own again within the first minute. And the round 3 ended in a very back and forth type pace. But if you watched it, you know that it was very clear once again that Ko won. All the winners got UFC contracts, obviously, including Dubin. She got a UFC contract fucking as soon as she won. She didn't have to wait. Dana, first time I've ever seen this. So usually, after the fights, Dana takes his paper and he goes back to his office and he calculates who gets contract, who doesn't. And he goes back out and they're all sitting in chairs and he calls up winner one by one. He came out with Dubin, dude. He walked out with her and he's like, well, obviously she got a fucking UFC contract. And then he started naming off the winners. So impressive enough to, do something crazy like that, which I thought was super cool. But that's it, man. I mean, dude, this season of Contender, so far, I dare say the best season I've ever seen. We've had nonstop just slobber knockers, and then including the way Dubin finished Clark as a minus 1350, the biggest upset in Contender Series history. It's something that's insane, and that's why as soon as I heard these stats, I literally first I tried messaging Dubin. You can't message Dubin unless she follows you back. So then I started looking into it. I'm like, okay, well, here's her manager. Hit up her manager. Within seconds, her manager contacted me back, was like, yeah, let's get her on, but she needs a translator. So I'm in the middle of scaffolding for translators, but this will happen within this next week or so. We will have her on. I will find a translator. Kind of a fun fact, I work in construction, so I can get a translator pretty easy. So, you know what I mean?
So, damn, dude. I always get so bummed out when I miss these freaking Contender Series fights because every time you bring it up, I'm like, fuck, that sounds better than the fight night. It's like, it's insane. And it makes sense though, because they're literally fighting for a contract, right? It's like life or death out there. They gotta prove it, put it all on the line, and fucking A, man. But I do have fun going back and watching, even though you spoil it for me every week. I do have fun going back and watching it and reliving those moments. But dude, that's freaking crazy that Dana did that, and what a big upset. And I'm excited to see what she does with her UFC career moving forward, because like who makes that kind of noise and doesn't do something special in the UFC?
Well, we'll see, because Dana even made a comment. He's like, I didn't get to see her throw a kick or land a takedown or defend a takedown. He's all I got to see was what that right hand does. So, I mean, who knows? She might get in there. She might get in there, and maybe it was just like that one shot that landed. But also, dude, like the chick she was fighting, as soon as the bell rang, I instantly knew she didn't belong there. I've never seen in my life a fight in Contender Series where the opponent marches forward, chin up like this, doing this shit. Never seen that in my life. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, this bitch is about to get KO'd. Like, this bitch is about to go to sleep. That's some.
How did she get such a
work.
massive favorite like that? Then I don't understand.
I think it's because she was like such a big grappler. I think that because they kept talking about like how she got in the clinch, it was gonna be a bad deal. I think that was her whole game plan, was like, hey, I know my boxing is dog shit, so let me just try to close the clinch as fast as, or close to the clinch distance as fast as possible. And sadly for her, there's such things as counter striking, and she got fucking opped.
She got tucked in.
I mean, she got more than tucked in. That bitch looked like she was dead. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
She got cremated.
She got creamed, but yeah. But overall, dude, fantastic nights of fights. Tomorrow night, well, it'll be the night before for you guys when you see this, because this is coming out on Thursday. It is Power Slap, road to the title. I believe it's going to be week 4 or 5. There's some pretty exciting things. Fun fact, I'm not sure what day we'll release it next week, but this Sunday we have an interview locked in with the Crazy Hawaiian. The Crazy Hawaiian. He's going against one of the most famous power slappers in history. Well, famous outside of the Power Slap organization, but the Dumpling. Fun fact, the Dumpling was actually scheduled to do a slapping contest with Logan Paul, and Logan Paul saw a video of Dumpling throwing a slap, and he made up some big lie why that can't happen. So he backed out.
He's like, on second thought, nah.
Yeah, actually, nah. I'd rather go fight Floyd Mayweather, who's 8 inches shorter than me and 25 years older. You know.
So this just occurred to me right now, but he was just a guest on Bradley Martin's podcast, and Bradley Martin, he's 270, and he's going to win in against everybody in a street fight, and that's just no doubt about it, right? So why doesn't he do Power Slap? I feel like he'd be the perfect person to like already have the personality and the following to like go do something like that.
Well, it's funny that you went into Bradley Martin from the Logan Paul. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that they fought.
What?
So you've been living under a rock. All right. Well, I will go through this for the guests joining the podcast that I don't know, like my friend here, who are just completely incompetent to paying attention to any type of combat sports or just general pop culture. But pretty much, Bradley Martin has been saying for years he wants to fight Logan Paul in MMA. And there was a video that came out where he had this influencer at his gym, and the influencer like ripped Bradley's hat off, which is, if you're a bald man like myself, that's extremely disrespectful. And Bradley told me, he's like, give me my fucking hat back. And the guy like started laughing. He's like, oh, or what? And he's like, give me my fucking hat back. And right when he got close, dude, he grabbed the hat and he bitch slapped the streamer. And he's like, or that bitch. And the streamer's like, what the fuck, dude? I was just playing around. Logan Paul came out. He's like, hey, Bradley, you want to fight me? You're a big tough guy. You want to pick on all these little influencers? Come pick on me. They set up a date. None of this is recorded, by the way, but the people who are there have talked about it. They had a fight inside of the Zoo Culture gym. Supposedly, there were no marks on their faces, which really made me question whether or not it actually happened. But supposedly, this went down. Bradley shot for a double leg. At first, he was kind of controlling Logan Paul. Logan Paul ended up reversing it, and he lightweight finished Bradley Martin to the point of where Bradley Martin submitted.
What?
Yeah, I thought you were transferring to that purposely, but apparently not.
No, but I mean that was a great segue for not knowing any better. But no, I was just thinking because we're about to have the guest on, and it's like, why doesn't Bradley do Power Slap? But it sounds like he doesn't need that mess.
Well, also his old training partner Larry Wheels just got put to sleep by the Crazy Hawaiian. I'm sure he saw Larry Wheels, who was way bigger than him, way stronger, get put to sleep in one slap by the Crazy Hawaiian. He's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm cool. I don't want that.
He's like, I think I'm just going to stick to the gym.
I think I'm just going to stay home.
Somebody give me a protein shake.
Yeah, somebody give me a protein shake. But, excuse me. My Lord. I got a case of the Bradleys. But anyways, that was it for the Contender Series fights. I can't recap Power Slap for you guys because as of the time of this recording, it hasn't happened yet. But what I can tell you is the Crazy Hawaiian will be on next week. We actually have a good lineup of interviews next week, a very solid lineup. I believe we got 7 right now. So I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize we had 7, and I started freaking out. I'm like, damn, dude, we only got like 3 interviews lined up. Like, so I started hitting up hella fighters, and I checked the schedule. I'm like, oh, we're actually booked, dude. We got 7. Holy shit! I almost just like quadruple booked us. But yeah, so good. That's good news. But let's cut into these interviews, guys. The very first one up on the docket is going to be Lajuan the Alchemist Davis, followed by the Mean Machine Steve Garcia.
Oh, dude, I thought that grinder was broke.
Not anymore. Thanks to Avalis Co., I was able to get the parts I need in order to repair my grinder so my business can go on as usual.
What else do they sell parts for?
Well, funny you should ask. They sell parts for your broken tools, sex toys, garden equipment, even parts for your computer so you can get back to the games of Halo with your virgin friends.
Okay, tell me more. Where do I purchase?
You can see what they have available exclusively at avalis-co.com. That's AVLIS-CO.com. Check them out to get your tools to entertain those certain family jewels back in working order today.
All right, guys, we are joined here. If I say your name wrong, let me know, by Lajuan the Alchemist Davis.
Yes, sir.
All right, I didn't butcher it. I love it.
No, that was perfect.
So good.
Well, you can start this off.
Well, hey, man, first of all, I just appreciate you hopping on with us. Can you share your journey in MMA and how you got started in the sport?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I started off in traditional martial arts, like karate, taekwondo. Kind of got into that just for like, self-defense. And I don't know, I was just a big fan of, martial arts movies, Bruce Lee and all that type of stuff, Jackie Chan. Yeah, I was training for a while in traditional martial arts, got my black belt and kind of wanted to know what was next. And one of the guys I was training with introduced me into UFC and MMA. And at first I didn't really care for it, but over time I kind of got to learn it and know what I was watching. And yeah, man, from there I wanted to get into it and, sought out gyms that were doing that type of training, and, everything kind of developed from there.
That's killer, man. Yeah, Jackie Chan really did make fighting look cool, didn't he?
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. It was great. It was the dance,
For sure. You see a guy like him on camera doing what he does in the movies, and you're like, damn, that's fighting, right?
For sure, absolutely. Yeah,
that's
man.
awesome.
So, you're just coming off of your Peak FC fight, right, for the middleweight title?
Yes, sir.
So what would you say that means to you in your career, and how do you plan on progressing from here? I'm assuming like you're kind of like on call for like, Contender Series and Tough and whatnot.
Yeah. So I actually just spoke to my manager. We're looking to defend the title in November, which I pretty much kind of thought this was like a 5-round war. It kind of went all 5. And my last fight coming off of a decision loss, I figured that maybe I would have to probably get another win and hopefully, a finish to kind of get the eyes, that I need to take it to that next level, whether that's UFC, Bellator, or whatever, So that's kind of what the plan is now, is to defend the belt in November, finish the guy. And then I'm sure, 2025, man, we're looking to make that step to a bigger promotion.
That's fire, man. I could definitely see that being the case too. How do you prepare mentally and physically for your fights? I know it's a little bit different for everybody, but I'm curious how that happens for you.
For me, I don't know. I meditate, do yoga, things like that. I think the biggest thing though for like preparation into a fight is just you want to get to that state of like I don't know, trust and belief in yourself to where you can just go in there and do your thing, and you're not worried about winning or losing, but you're just I don't know, enjoying the moment, being in the moment. And so I guess like that's kind of the biggest part of like my mental preparation for a fight is like working on day to day, being able to stay present and be in the moment. Yeah, I feel like the more you practice that day to day, it gets easier. When fight day comes up, you're not, freaking running through your head 1,000 different scenarios of what ifs and all this. You're just right there in the moment. And I feel like that's where you perform the best, is when you're present and 100% in the moment and aware of everything. It allows everything to kind of just flow, and you get into that flow state. So that's kind of, my approach.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, in the group message, with Jacksonwink, they mentioned the fact that you were one of the coaches in the IncredAble Adaptive MMA Program.
Yes, that's correct. Mm-hmm.
So what inspired you to get involved in that and, you know, become a coach in that program?
Well, my wife was actually a part of the program already, and she's actually the one that, you know, convinced me to take part in the program. You know, at first, you know, I kind of had like my reserves. You know, there's this thing about like, you know, if as a fighter, if you're coaching too much, you know, you might take away from your ability to train, things like that, and progress and get better. And so that was kind of in the back of my head. Plus, I've had some dealings with some gyms in the past that were kind of you know, would take advantage of guys like me that had some sort of skill, you know, that could coach and things like that. And you know, I ended up, you know, being kind of, you know, left by the wayside, you know, or just kind of yeah, just kind of not put in an environment where I could grow. So anyways, fast forward, you know, my wife, she kind of convinced me to get into it. And I don't know, I realized that I could be the type of fighter that just focuses on myself and does my own thing and selfish and gets somewhere that way, or I could be the type of fighter that grows with my community. And that was kind of you know, I realized that was the two decisions I was, you know, the two roads I was deciding or debating between, and decided to take, you know, the road where I grew with my community. And so that's where I've been a part of that program and stuck with it ever since. And it's been awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's it's just really cool to see, you know, someone who is involved, you know, with the fighting and the professional aspect of it, given their personal time to, you know, such a program. It's a really cool thing to see.
It's a really cool program, you know, because, you know, you got these kids that, you know, they go to a lot of different places and they get kind of turned away because, you know, of their disabilities or, you know, there's just all different, you know, varieties of what that may be. And so they get turned down by a lot of places because of those things. And so what Heatherwink and Mike Winklejohn has created, you know, the atmosphere and the coaching skills to be able to train these, you know, different individuals with different conditions. And man, it's from what I've seen, like there's, you know, there's nothing stopping them, you know, at all, you know, and if they put their mind to it, they can achieve a lot of things. And I've seen some kids in the program, you know, go from hardly being able to move in a wheelchair to being able to get up and out of it, you know, on their own, and they're boxing and they're moving and wrestling. And it's like, it's really awesome, you know, to see someone that, you know, society would just write off and be like, well, you know, you'll never move, you'll never walk again, you'll never stand again, you know, things like that, doing those things, you know, just, you know, purely by their own will, man, you know, their will to not quit and give up on themselves, and to, you know, believe that they can achieve, you know, what they set out to achieve. And so it's really just been a blessing for me to be a part of it. And yeah, you know, I've learned a lot from being a part of it.
Yeah, you know what? You're giving them the ability to see their strengths, and you're helping them to build confidence and showing them that they have that within them. And I think that's so cool, man. Hey, I love asking this question, and because I really am curious who people are outside of the cage and, you know, off the mat. Who is the alchemist when you're not focusing on fighting?
Well, a father. So, you know, focusing on my family and their well-being. Yeah, I mean, a coach, you know, I'm also, I mean, yeah, I mean, a coach. I'm also very interested in philosophy and, you know, the nature of being itself. But yeah, man, I think a lot of my time outside of fighting is trying to either, you know, get some stuff done around the house or spend time with my family, you know, and you know, just kind of coaching, you know, different students, you know, and giving back where I can, you know, because I think that's kind of how the world works is, you know, in order for me to be in this sport and be able to do like you know what I'm saying? Like, be able to fight, man. It's a game we get to play. And it's like, in order to be able to do that, it's like there's a bunch of people out there, you know, that are kind of giving their blood, sweat, and tears in order to create the conditions that, you know, allow me to do this sport. And so for me, I feel like it's my responsibility to give back in the ways that I can. And so, you know, through martial arts, you know, through teaching, through doing self-defense seminars to help the community be able to defend themselves better. You know, I think all those things are important, you know, to do outside of just being a fighter. You know, you're also someone that, you know, the community, you know, people love fights, and they look to fighters. Sometimes, you know, we're I wouldn't say, I mean, I guess you could say role models in a way, but I wouldn't say necessarily role models, but just like, it's a source of inspiration, which is why people love watching fights. You know, they love to see an underdog overcome. You know, they love to see two guys, you know, go to war and put their hearts out there, you know. And so I feel like as fighters, not only do we have that responsibility to be warriors in the ring, but, you know, also outside of the ring, and that's serving the community. And, you know, yeah, being there for our families. And so that's, you know, that's kind of the focus outside of it, you know, and just becoming better human beings.
Yeah, I totally agree. So is there something special that you and your family do often that you guys look forward to?
We look forward to traveling and getting out in nature, hiking, swimming for sure. We got into paddleboarding maybe a couple of years ago, and so we try to make sure we take those wherever we go and find spots to paddleboard. But yeah, man, just getting out in nature, dude, and just seeing the world. You know, there's so much to see out there. So that's what we love doing, you know, the most, I believe, is going and seeing the world and learning about it.
I love that, man. That's mutual. That's actually what me and my family do the most too, is any chance we get to have some free time, we go and ground ourselves. We live by a bunch of natural lakes and rivers, and just swimming and doing that thing. And hey, if your whole family can get on a paddleboard, man, you guys are doing pretty good, because that's not easy.
Hey, man, you know, yeah, it's pretty cool. The kids are learning, you know, so yeah, it's fun. It's a good workout for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So, who are some of your biggest influences or mentors in the MMA world?
Dang. I mean, if we're talking MMA fighters, man, I mean, it kind of changes, you know. Sometimes there's different fighters that come up that are like, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I love their story, you know, and just their career and what they've done. But I guess the first thing that kind of comes up to my head would be like George St. Pierre. He's probably the first fighter that I resonated with, just because when I first started fighting, I hated going. I actually hated fighting. You know, I loved the training part of it, but fighting was just kind of this necessary evil. I've gotten over that now, like, or I don't know if it was over or whatever, but now I actually like enjoy the process. Or I guess I just realized how cool of a sport we get to partake in, you know. And I was just like, man, like, this isn't gonna last forever, like, you know. And so I've started to enjoy it now. But George St. Pierre was definitely someone I connected with earlier on. And just because I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not a shit talker or anything like that, you know. I love the martial arts, and I love going out there and having a good performance. And I feel like George St. Pierre kind of shared that. But man, Anderson Silva, freaking the flow that he's able to, you know, he was getting into in his career. I love that. I loved, you know, how unique he was. You know, he didn't follow the rules, you know, of MMA, you know, per se. And let's see who else. I guess those are the two names that kind of pop in my head, you know. Yeah, off rip. So yeah, let's say George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva. Those are kind of huge influences for sure.
You know, it's funny you brought up GSP, because we did an interview with Greg Jackson, and he mentioned, you know, he was GSP's coach for a while. Did you ever get a chance to train with him at all?
No, we got here maybe almost going on 3 years ago. So most of the people, like I haven't even met John Jones. I've been out here for almost about 3 years training at Jacksonwink. I haven't met John Jones. So yeah, no, I haven't had a chance to train with George St. Pierre, but hopefully in the future, that'd be awesome.
Let me ask you something. Do you ever find yourself kind of starstruck at all at any moment when you're at Jacksonwinks and you run across a fighter that you've just been watching on TV for so long, and you have that admiration for them? Does that ever happen to you?
I wouldn't say starstruck. To me, like I consider myself like and I'm not saying like I'm already on their level, not something like that, but I see myself and I know I can get to that level, you know what I'm saying, over time, and that I'm working towards that. And so I don't ever like put anyone, I guess, on a pedestal necessarily. So yeah, I just don't put anyone on a pedestal, I guess, for the most part. But there are people that like I do have, great admiration for, that I would show that, but I wouldn't say to the point of like being starstruck. Yeah, I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, we're all human beings. No matter how great of achievements we've made, we're all human beings, and so I kind of treat everyone with the same respect there.
Yeah, I totally understand. I guess I run through that with my own self, just thinking like, man, like if, for example, and he's not in the MMA world or anything, but it's like, what would that be like being in a room with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or something, It's like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you look at him on TV over the years, you've seen him being a WWE all the way to movies and everything else, or even like a John Cena, like somebody with that kind of like a polarizing figure, Yeah.
No, I definitely see what you mean. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. Like growing up, my mom didn't let us watch a whole lot of TV and such, man, for a number of years, So I guess I just never like, I don't know. I never got into that place where like I could like I don't know, follow someone famous and be like, oh man, like I can't wait to meet them one day, But there are people, man. There are people that like I don't know, I agree with or think their work is inspirational, or they've helped me with certain phases of my life that like I would love to like meet that person in person, and to thank them and to let them know like that they played a role in my success today. So there's stuff like that, but not too much of a starstruck, I would say.
Hey, is there a certain artist or a certain genre of music that just clicks you into like work mode as you're preparing for a fight?
Oh man, it has to be something like it has to be something like I can dance to, so like I love oldies, like what is it, Motown, like stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know, like to me, like when I'm getting ready for a fight, I don't like to be like too like hyped up, but neither too relaxed. So like to me, like music I can dance to kind of gets me into like a good rhythm. And so that's what I want to be, is like, in a fight, it's just kind of like in a rhythm, a dance, because that's what it is, So that's kind of yeah, I don't know exactly what you would classify that at, but yeah, it gets around. Just whatever I could dance to, yeah.
Well, I can't dance, so I can only partially speak to that.
Hey man, you just gotta get some music with some bass and drums, and just start not bobbing your head. You start getting the rhythm with that, then you start adding some extra moves to it. And next thing you know, you're getting it.
Next thing I know, my two left feet are moving, huh?
That's it, man. Y'all. That's how it starts for sure.
Well, man, we could chat all day, but I don't want to keep you all day long. We really appreciate your time, my man. I'm going to tag your Instagram in this, but is there any other social media you want to plug?
Nah, Instagram's just fine. Yeah, that works.
Okay. Sounds good, my man. Well, I appreciate you joining us and giving us your time, and can't wait to see, your defense for the middleweight title.
It's going to be great, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. This is awesome.
Yes, sir. Well, brother, you have a good rest of your Sunday.
All right. You too as well. Bye.
Whoa, dude. Where'd you get that totally throbular shirt from?
Funny you should ask. I got it from PandaMMANews merch store. We have all sorts of merch to choose from, including our brand new Live, Laugh, Throb shirt from episode 4. We have dog collars, dog beds, limited edition shirts, hats, coffee mugs, and more. So what are you waiting for? Come throb with us at PandaMMANews.com. Just click the merch tab and check out all our great product.
Throbbing is known to cause health issues for both male and females above the age of 40. So do not use PandaMMANews.com without prior doctor consent. Please throb responsibly.
Have for this introduction, so just give you a warning.
Hey, brother, do you think, man? I probably could use some too. I need to bust out an energy drink or something.
Dude, that I drank 2 Reigns, so I'm ready.
Oh, bro. Okay. All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, we are joined by the Mean Machine, Steve Garcia.
I like it, man. I like it, man. Thanks for having me.
Do you think I can take Bruce Buffer's job?
I don't know, man. He's pretty damn good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just shoot him straight, man. It's okay. He's
Hey, I'll keep it real with you. Yeah, no, he's good. I think he's gonna keep his job.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you there. And plus, I heard he could fight too, so I think you don't want to fuck with the man.
Dude, I heard there was like a story where he threw down with, I don't know, it was Tito Ortiz or somebody in the.
I think it was Frank Trigg, right?
Oh, was it Frank Trigg? Oh,
I think it was Frank Trigg, yeah.
You don't care.
I told that story on a podcast. I said the wrong name. I got crucified in the comments for it.
I know you got to fight with somebody, so hey, bro, that shows balls. So credit where it's due, I guess. For sure.
Heck yeah, man. So hey, you've got a fight coming up September 7th.
Yeah, I got a thing on Saturday, brother. I got a thing to go do real quick on Saturday.
Yeah, you got to go handle some business, huh?
I do. They need me, I guess.
That's right. So hey, tell me what you're doing in preparation for this fight, and how do you see it playing out?
Well, man, without giving away too much, preparation's been good. We just picked up where we left off, with the last camp. We just extended it, like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. Yeah, man. So I was in great shape. Weight was low. I always kind of figured I'd fight Kyle Nelson at some point, so I kind of always had my eye on him already. My coaches just wanted to make sure, like, I was still good. You know what I mean? Like, make sure I had no bumps and bruises, which luckily I didn't take too much in the fight that I just had. So yeah, man, it's going good as far as the fight, how I see it playing out. I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I'm prepared for everything. That's my mentality. I'm prepared for a war, man. But I'm a little worried that it might turn into a little bit of a stalling match or something. I do fear that, because when Nelson gets hit, he starts diving for the legs, or he'll look to clinch against the cage, and he actually has some decent clinch work against the cage. He likes to use his elbows and stuff. So you just got to be on top of those type of things. You know what I mean? In the cage, things just get really chaotic in there, which, in a sense, I kind of prefer it that way. So I don't know, man. I hope it's not one of those boring ones. On my end of things, I will try my best to make sure it's not boring. But hey, man, we got a fight on our hands, man, and I'm ready for him.
Hell yeah, man. Well, my question, it kind of touches back on a prior opponent of yours, and I'm pretty sure this is the fight that kind of launched you on this streak you're on. It's it's a fan favorite, Chase Hooper. How did it feel to secure such a decisive first round TKO against him? And what was that your game plan going into it? Just try to starch him before he can, try to wrap you up on the ground?
No. The biggest thing was don't go to the ground with him. That was number one. Number two, it was mainly just there's a couple things that I was struggling with in like the beginning of a fight, which is kind of like the fill out process. I feel like I'm overcoming that. I just want to get the party started right away, man. That's just how I've always been. I have 15 minutes to get my job done. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get down to it. And it's funny because when I fought Chase Hooper, he kind of came at me, and so I kind of I was a little surprised by that. and he closed the distance for me. I didn't have to worry about it too much, and we got the party started right away. But I knew I was absolutely, you know, the best striker in that fight. You know what I mean? So it was very clear that like if I kept on my feet, I was gonna find success. If it went down to the ground, I think it was just gonna be you know, obviously the odds definitely lean in his favor. I'm not stupid. I know what I'm doing on the ground. That's for sure. But you know, Chase Hooper, man, he's a little magician on the feet on the ground. So yeah, man, you just got to make sure that you try to make it, you know, your fight. And you know, I got to do the same thing with this fight. I do think that Kyle Nelson is he's tough, man. He's won his last three. His last fight was against Bill Algeo, and he was, you know, he's a tough guy. And yeah, man, someone's streak's gotta end, and it ain't gonna be mine. It ain't gonna be mine, man. Like I'm going in there, guns a blazing. I'm not saying that like I'm, you know, taking them, you know, I'm not taking them seriously or anything like that. But my goodness, dude, like one of our streaks ending, and I don't plan on it being mine.
Amen, man. I don't see it being yours either. And yeah, Chase is like one of those tactical noodles, man. He's part of that funky family. Him and Ben being the dad of the bunch there, Ben Askren.
Yeah.
So, you know, you talked about you're prepared for it to go to the ground, but you know you'd prefer for it to be standing up and stuff like that. Let me ask you this: how's your experience been training at Jacksonwink's MMA?
Dude, I've been there for over a decade, man. It's crazy. You know, the experience is wild, man. I have been there through where all the champions are all in one room, man. Which is wild. Um, to where we're at right now, man. We're in somewhat of a rebuilding phase, and yeah, man, it's kind of cool to see like the newer generation coming through. But man, they're like rough around the edges, man. We're just trying to like, you know, I guess kind of just like, you know, smooth out some stuff, you know, and get things where they need to be. I kind of felt like I'm a little bit older. I think me and Joey were talking about it, via Senior, and I think I'm like the end of our second generation in Jackson's. Um, as far as like people that have been training there, even before we switched over to the Jacksonwink Academy, I was there at, you know, Jackson's Winkle John's on Acoma, and I was there for a minute. And yeah, dude, like I said, everybody there was a killer in there, and um, that's where I pretty much got tough. I had to get really tough in that gym, and they all beat me up. You know what I mean? And I think they were good with it because I still stuck around, and I was willing to keep my hands up and throw back. You know, so um, they were able to like help me and show me some of their stuff, and because it was really hard to get in there with Wink and Greg, because Greg was like almost never there. He's maybe there once a week because he was always cornering different fighters, or he was in different countries helping other people. And then Wink was always like around getting everybody ready. And his roster was like 20 men deep. I was like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna get in with this guy. So I would try to like, you know, brainstorm with like anybody else that was willing to on the mat. So I got real close with like Diego Sanchez. I got close to Carlos. I got close with um, everybody else that was just around there, and just, you know, try to figure things out, man. And they showed me a lot of cool things. And like I said, I've been there from way back then to where we are now, and now it's kind of my turn to kind of help some of these guys that are coming up and trying to show them a couple things. So it's almost making a full circle. But yeah, man, I'm blessed to be there. Coach Wink and Greg are amazing. Would have wanted any other coaches in my corner. And yeah, man, we've been on this reign, and we've been going hard.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, you know what? All my questions are focused on you, but you said you've been there since the beginning, so I feel like I'd be dumb if I didn't ask. I'm assuming you were in these training rooms when John Jones was training. Do you have you ever like moved around with them, and have you ever seen any of these like legendary sparring matches that I've heard about in other podcasts?
Yeah, so like so Jackson's, we have two different types of sparring classes. So we have our like 155 and our 55s can kind of like go back and forth, but like we have a heavyweight class and our lightweight class. They go before us. You know, our lightweight classes start at 11:15. You know, they're about 10 o'clock, 10:30. So yeah, dude, it's I've seen that guy, and he's actually been one of the guys that had really helped me especially like mentally when I first got in the UFC, because I got a short notice fight, and I had a conversation with them, and it really helped me because I had a 4-day notice. And he really was like, bro, at this point, it ain't about what you know, it's about what you're gonna do like up here. He says that matters. And so I really took that to heart. We had a good conversation, man, and we've always had good conversations. So like I have him, in high regards, and I respect that dude, especially what he does in the cage. I mean, that dude's probably he's a savage no matter where he's at. But man, he's a beast. He really is. And I've seen some of his sparring rounds as well. I've seen him and Over him go at it. I've seen him and just Carlos and Noak and whoever, Travis, like Brown, and there's all these guys. I mean, I wasn't there. I was kind of like barely coming to the scene when him and Rashad were like sparring. So like I was coming to the tail end of that. So I didn't really see any of that. But yeah, after that, definitely have seen him, do his thing to many people.
What would you say has been some of the more standout moments that you've experienced through your career and in the gym?
Well, so everybody knows Albuquerque's a little nuts, dude. So like we've had situations where we've had these guys, because there's a hospital, like emergency room right down the road from us, and these crazies, man, they come down from there, they get released from the hospital, and they want to fight, and so they come into our gym. And Wing does as much as he can to try to keep them out. He's trying to always, you guys need to get out. You guys need to get out. You guys need to go. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't know what you're doing here, but you guys need to figure it out because it's not here, And I remember this one time. Here's just one story that I remember very, very clearly. And we had we had just finished up grappling, and we were just kind of just chilling. It was me, Diego Sanchez, and like two other people. I think Andrew Tennyson. There's one more, and we were just chilling in the circle. And this one guy, he came on the mats, and it's hard because like we have so many different people from different countries that come in, and he had no shirt on, and he just had like some basketball shorts on, and he kind of looked like he just lived upstairs in the dorms. That's really what it looked like. And so he was just there, but he was behind Diego Sanchez, like just pacing in a sense, but like looking at him and stuff. And I'm like looking, I'm like, man, I was like, who's this guy? We didn't really know, but there's people in our gym that we just don't really see very often. They just stay in the dorms, or in the because we have studios and apartments and stuff like that too. And sure enough, like we just like kind of like turn around, and Diego's like, he said, hey man, you good? He's like, I'm trying to fight the toughest guy in this room. And I was like, oh no. I was like, not one of these. And so Diego's like, look, man, you better find another spot, man. This is not the time. Professional train here. And yeah, man, guy was not leaving. And Wink had to come in because Diego, started to get escalated, and I had to kind of like, hey, bro, you're good. Don't worry about it. It's not that big deal. He's like, no, man, this guy wants to fight me. And I was like, dude, nah, we don't need to mess with this. Don't worry about it. And Diego, when his mind's made up, man, he's it's hard to change it. So Mike Winklejohn comes in, and he's like, look, man, he says, this is not time and place. You need to go. He's like, I'm not leaving this room until someone fights me. And he's so like gung-ho about it. And Wink's like trying so hard to just get him out of the premise. And at some point, like we were probably having this discussion maybe for if it seemed like a while, maybe 5 minutes. And Wink's like, you know what, bro? Like you're on your own, dude. And then freaking, I don't know what happened because there's a big like group of people that like surrounded him. Diego, this guy's nuts. He jumps on his back. Okay, he jumps on the guy that comes through, jumps on his back. Well, my buddy is sweaty and slides off of him. And I'm like, oh no. So then everybody huddles up on top of him, bro. I'm not even joking. We all huddle up on top of both of them just to make sure that like Diego doesn't get hit, and we're controlling this one guy that's like coming off the street. And so like I got a leg, and then some of these other guys are like straight up just like holding just something. And all of a sudden Frank Lester comes in, and Frank's like, no, I got it. Because we were just like, you guys need to go. Like we're trying to separate everybody. And sure enough, like Wink's like, I'm done. I was like, you guys can call the cops. I don't care. Like, I'm done with this. And sure enough, Frank's like, he's like full force, like ready to throw down with this guy. And they spar, man. They spar. And Frank hit him with like a leg kick because that guy came at him hard, hit with a leg kick. And he did not, I don't think he's ever experienced a leg kick in his life, ever. This guy probably was maybe like 190. And he still came at Frank again, and boom, head kicked him, boom, knocked him out. The guy freaking hit the wall, came down. Dude, it was nuts, bro. And then one of these other guys that I don't know if he's seen him around or what it is, but literally just grabbed him, like body locked him, drug him to like the front door and put him there, and then waited for the cops to come. So like that was one of the most kind of crazy like situations I can totally remember. It's kind of wild, you know what I mean? That probably happened maybe 4 or 5 years ago. No, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. So yeah, I mean it was kind of a long story, but yeah, that's what happened.
No, dude, Steve, that's what I'm fucking talking about, dude. I ask people these questions. You just delivered, dude. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what it is with these idiots, dude. It's like they come in thinking they're just hot, some tough guy off the streets. Like, hey, professionals fight here, dude. Like, how many times you got to tell you, get out of here? It's not safe for you here. Like, you're being a bonehead. And then he got what he deserved, dude. He got.
Yeah, dude, and that's not the first time it's happened, bro. It's happened a couple times, bro. Like I'm serious. It drives me nuts because like Albuquerque, and we're downtown. So like before, so where Acoma is, that's where the war zone is. So like you have to be really careful there. Like that's where like that's the most violent part of like where you're like on the border, like where the most violent parts of Albuquerque are. Like they shut down the Walmarts there. They shut down a lot of different areas there because it's very, very violent. They never really mess with Jackson's too much. They tag our like dumpster. That was about it. But yeah, you gotta watch out like at nighttime. Like that's where you gotta watch out for. But at downtown, we're right next to the hospital, and then we have we have so many homeless guys like around all the time, dude. It's just like it's nuts. It's nuts, and it's not safe. It's not safe at all. But bro, like we get these guys coming in here, and they're either like on drugs or they just got released from the hospital or something like that, and man, they can make a day for you. That's for sure.
You know, it's funny that you brought up the leg kick thing. I've done Muay Thai for 7 years. I don't look at it right now because I haven't done it in a while, but no one realizes how bad a leg kick will fuck your day up. That first one, dude, and you're limping for 3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
But my I want to get back to your fight this weekend. So I'm obviously we're picking you to win. I personally think you're going to go out there. I think you're going to starch him before any of the leg humping is going to ensue. I think you're going to starch his ass. But my question for you is, do you already have a name on your mind when they put that microphone in your face?
Man, like every time I call someone out, they don't respond. Or I had one person respond, but then they don't act. So like I called out Ige. He's like, yeah, he earned it. And then my management talks to his management, like, oh yeah, we're about it. And then they take a fight with Leron Murphy. I'm like, bro, like just don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like I thought we were like, I thought we were going, we're gonna be able to, get matched up. So and then like I called out who's it, Nate Lander. I've called out I think I've called out David Jackson. I've called out Alex Caceres. I've called out I don't know if you see, like there was a big delay from my last fight in December to when I just fought. That's like 7 months in between, and I was asking for anybody. I was like, give me a rematch with Sean. I asked him, I was like, is there a matchup available with Sean Woodson again? I was supposed to fight him. I got injured on that one. I was like, what can I do? And they're like, no, we gotta wait. And then they threw me that guy, the Troy guy. I was like, whatever, like I'll take it, So I just feel like every time I call someone out, it just doesn't happen. So like at this point, everybody in the top 15 are all killers. So I'm like, all right, so I have to get through all of them. There's no way around it. I mean, I don't have that privilege. Like I don't have the Dana White privilege. I don't got that. But you know what, dude? Like I'm okay with looking down that freaking just around that lineup and just be like, all right, who's next? Like I think Barboza, There's Josh Emmett, there's Bryce Mitchell, Diego Lopez, Dan Ige, and those are the guys before you even touch the top 5 with Yair, Ortega, Holloway, Volkanovski, and Taporia. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to like jump the line or anything like that. Like, as if you guys have been able to tell, like, I'm everybody that they've given me is from the bottom. You know what I mean? Like, I've been chewing and clawing my way up through the ranks since almost zero. You know what I mean? I feel like they've put me, like, pressed me down in the prelims so many times that, like, I'm like, bro, I can't get any light here. I can't get any exposure. But yeah, I'm still knocking these guys out. You know what I mean? It was frustrating. So finally, like, with this last fight, I just begged my manager. I'm like, dude, get me on a main card. I was like, I'm not getting any views. I'm not getting anything. I was like, I need some push. I need some help. He's like, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He says, I think we've earned that. And sure enough, boom, we get on the main card. Luckily for me, you know, I got bumped up to the co-main event. Bad for whoever was there. But, bro, I took advantage of exactly where that spot was. I landed in it, and, you know, we turned up, and we got the win. So, yeah, man, I'm trying my hardest to be undeniable. I'm trying my hardest to go out there, put on good performances so that people really want me around. You know what I mean? And I can provide for my family. I can do everything I can, you know, to be successful in the business I chose.
100%. Dude, I'd love to see you against Bryce Mitchell. I think that'd be a great matchup too for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a camp, bro. Give me a camp. I got that guy's a little leg humper kind of, you know what I mean? He's grabbed, but, you know, he wants to get you down, you know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Absolutely, I'm like, let's go. You know, bring it, dude. I got people in the gym that can do that, you know. So, so
I got something for that.
I got something for all of them. I do. I truly believe I do. The thing is that you got to show up on the day. You know what I mean? We don't have these, like, you know, like with NFL, MLB, and baseball. They either have, you know, a bad game and they have tomorrow, or they have Saturday, or, you know, next week. We don't get that. No, it has to be on fight night, fight day. You got to be ready. You got to show up, ready or not. Like, you go in there, you got to show what you got. And so, you know, we've all had bad days in the cage, but man, dude, I'm trying to have my best days in there. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I don't think your best days have even yet to come. I think you got a lot more room for growth, man. Well, hey, listen, Steve, we really do appreciate you hopping on with us. I know you've got a lot going on right now, preparing for your fight and everything, but we don't want to take up too much more of your time, but we just want to say thank you for hopping on with us.
Yeah, man. Of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I know it's kind of close, but thanks for reaching out, brother. Yeah, I'll do it again. Just let me know.
Yeah, man. Shout out Jacksonwink for hooking us up. Yeah, dude, can't express how much we're thankful for you joining us. I'm so excited to see you fight. We're gonna put this on the same episode that we put Lajuan on from Jacksonwink.
All right.
And yeah, we're gonna release this Thursday. So I'll tag you for collab. And yeah, man, I can't wait to see this fight. I can't wait to see you starch this mofo.
Yeah, man, that's definitely the plan. I'm ready for anything, but yeah, dude, I no way in hell would I underestimate him. He's tough as nails, but I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, brother.
Oh yeah, dude. Hey, I'll shoot you a personal message on Instagram. Let me get an address to send you some gear out. We want to send you some gear for doing this interview with us.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Yeah, I'll you know, shoot me a message and I'll you know, get back to you for sure.
Sounds good, brother. Well, take care, man, and yeah, can't wait to see this win.
Thanks, brother. Stay tuned, man. It's gonna be good, and don't blink.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man.
Later, bro.
All right, guys. That was Lajuan, the Alchemist Davis, and Steve, the Mean Machine Garcia. I'm gonna keep saying it like that forever. Don't fucking doubt me. But yeah, thanks guys for your time. We really appreciate it. And shout out Misha for setting all this up at Jacksonwink. We really appreciate you, brother. You know, it is what it is. But let's get into some current events, you know. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. This is the only actual thing I need to share my screen for. This is the video we were talking about earlier during the Contender series that they aired, where they were just glazing John Jones up, you know, a good old storm of glazing, a good old glaze storm. Which, you know, glaze him up, dude. He's the GOAT. Glaze him like a donut. Glaze him like he's you know, like a good old donut.
Dana's all, I see glazing in the forecast.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I saw, dude. I'm telling you right now, brother. I'm telling you right now.
He was throbbing at the bit.
Oh yeah, he was throbbing during that commercial. I can tell you that much right now, dude. I was there. I saw it. All right, guys. So here we go. Let me man. Nope. Nah. That's the end of it. So yeah. Oh fuck. Fuck me to tears, dude. I literally thought the entire time I was like, oh, Stipe's coming any second now, dude. Just wait. Just fucking wait. But
but he never did.
So aside from Stipe coming and us being moist, let's move on to the next thing. From my fellow who's looking extremely red right now, like he just ate a chili pepper. Yeah,
that's
your lighting,
funny shit, dude.
Your lighting's really fucked up. But so Kevin Berhaus is out of UFC 306, and Joshua Vaughn is stepping in against Edgar Chairez. I think I said that right. But it's funny they're doing this because the amount of money Dana was saying it was for production, this is adding millions of dollars at the cost to have to redo all the graphics and everything that all the fighters already did. So I'm surprised they're remaking this fight
instead of just canceling it.
Well, exactly. Instead of just, I know there's only 10 fights scheduled for the Noche card, but at the same time, wouldn't you want to reserve that money in case like the co-main or the main drops out? You know, why would you waste scheduling, the money that it costs to reschedule? Why would you waste it on this bout?
Unless they just don't give this new fighter like any of the cool shit. He just comes out and it's just like blank screen there. I'll deal with it.
There's no fucking way, dude. The big of a deal that he's been making, there's no fucking way.
Dana White, he called up the Middle East. He's like, hey guys, we got a problem. They're like, he's like, I'm gonna need a little bit of that money.
I mean, he probably did that, but there's just no way that they're canceling, that they would do a blank screen for the fella. But that moves us into the next current event.
No, what they do is they're gonna show all the shit for the old fighter, and then he's gonna come out and be like,
"Sorry, it is." Hey, John Jones is the GOAT.
No, same, but different.
That's exactly what Dana's gonna cut the mic to say. Hey, sorry guys, but John Jones is the GOAT. They're just gonna roll that commercial. That's all they're gonna roll.
Yeah, when he walks out, it's just that same commercial.
Not even about the fighter. It's just about fucking throating Jones in the middle of the sphere. Hey Dana, from the tweet I read from John Jones to Aspinall, you better have a big throat, brother, because he mentioned something, a very big, large thing that Aspinall needs to keep out of his mouth. So if that is true, Dana, you better have a large throat and a very deep one at that. But anyways, to the next current event.
That's not here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. That's just in Dana's throat, but that doesn't matter. We have Jake Paul says there's no backup opponent for thick and strong Mike Tyson on November 15th. So pretty much if this fight falls through, it falls through. Which means, what do you mean call us? To fight him?
Called us. Yeah, man.
Oh, dude, pay me what you're paying Mike, dude. I'll go out there. I'll get knocked the fuck out. I don't care. I mean, come on, man. I want a bunch of French hookers. I want a bunch of pixie dust that you can't, say on podcasts. I want all that stuff. So yeah, call me, Jake. I'll never mind. I can't say what I was about to say. Otherwise, it'll be bad news. But yeah.
That wasn't necessarily a whisper either.
Well, it was enough for me to bleep out, so that's all that matters. If worst case, I'll just fucking cut it. But The next one is Tyron Woodley claims he was offered a MMA and boxing fight versus Eddie Hall and Floyd Mayweather.
No, he wasn't. Nobody wants to see that.
Eddie Hall's 450 pounds. How the fuck does that make sense? Tyron Woodley, that is it. And then, you know what? That actually makes more sense than him fighting Floyd Mayweather, because that's also that's more than a bad idea than Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall's going to knock you out. Floyd Mayweather's really going to knock you the fuck out. I'm sorry, Tyron Woodley. I saw your boxing. You got knocked out by a bum. You got knocked out by Jake Paul. He only fights older and smaller MMA fighters, and you fell under that banner, brother. I don't know what you're thinking.
Twice.
If I were you, I'd go get a job at In-N-Out. I hear they start at $22 an hour now, at least here in California. Start there, work your way up, dude. Maybe you'll get a fucking fight with the manager. That's all I can say. Yeah.
He can get a fight. He can get a fight with the fucking potato squisher.
Exactly. That's all there. It's all there is to it, man. I don't know what the fuck this fucking nonsense is where he's gonna go fight all these guys. But that's all we got for current events, guys. We're gonna keep this short because we did have 3 interviews and we're not trying to hit the 3-hour mark. So
this isn't the Rogan experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting paid like the Rogan experience, so yeah, it definitely isn't. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like, comment. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, PandaMMANews 1. Make sure you follow us on X and TikTok under the same banner, Panda MMA News. And yeah, make sure you guys tune in for actually tomorrow night real quick. We do have another set of interviews coming out.
We see you guys, and believe me, we're going to find location.
Believe you me. Actually, no, you know what? Sorry. I forgot putting Renato on this episode that excommunicates Friday's episode. So tune in Monday. As long as everything works out properly, we'll have we might throw the crazy Hawaiian on. He doesn't fight till October, so I mean we can kind of throw him on throughout the week, but we'll figure out what day we're gonna put him on. He will definitely be on one of the podcast episodes. So make sure you tune in. It'll either be Monday or Thursday at 5 p.m. Our other interviews, I'm not going to go through the list for you guys because I haven't confirmed with anyone yet, but our other interviews will be, Monday, Thursday, or it'll be a Wednesday or Friday. So, just that's why you follow the Instagrams and the X's and the TikToks and all that. So you can stay up to date, because daddy doesn't know right at the drop of the hat. I don't know at the drop of my hairline where these interviews are going to line up at. Yeah. I only know what I know, and I don't know very much.
Quit following the nutritionist to the grocery store and start following us on Instagram and on X.
Yeah, maybe pull that chair out of the corner, dude. Maybe pull it close to the bed. That's I don't know. Ask Ian, dude. But he's a vegan, so it's probably very deep in the corner. That chair might be built into the corner of the wall. I'm not positive, but
it's probably bolted in.
It probably is. It's probably mounted to the stud in the corner of the wall. That he has no choice, dude. And I bet you there's shackles on that shit. He's probably getting shackled in the corner, so he can't even turn away if he wants to.
Nah, I don't think he needs those.
What, you think the only shackle is his hand around his little fucking Irish pecker? Yeah, yeah, that's the only shackle involved. Ole, ole, ole. Ole. He's screaming it in the crowd, and the nutritionist's like, yeah.
Shut up and eat your vegetables.
You fucking idiot, Ian.
Stupid cack.
But yeah, that's it, guys. So go fuck yourselves.